right, so today we're going to be talking about what some say is the most important question you could ever ask. And that is, does God exist? Is there a God that created everything? Or am I simply here by chance? And what you believe about this question alone will impact how you choose to live the rest of your life. Now, the question of whether or not God exists is kind of similar to asking, is there a purpose to life? Is there a meaning to all of this? And before we get into that discussion, I want us firstly to define some terms. Surely you have all heard of the term atheist. An atheist is someone who rejects the belief in the existence of God. Now, most atheists would subscribe to a belief known as materialism, not the type of materialism where someone is overly obsessed with money or having more. But materialism in this sense is the idea that the physical universe is all that there is. There is no supernatural guiding force. There is no God running the universe. Instead, what you see is what you get. There is no unseen world. All of what you can see is all of that which exists. Now, the second term, theist. The theist would be the exact opposite of an atheist. A theist would be someone that affirms, that believes in the existence of at least one God. And the reason why I say at least one is because a theist could actually be someone who believes in the existence of multiple gods. So, unlike the atheist, a theist would reject the idea that what you see is what you get. The unseen world exists. In other words, they believe there is something beyond this physical world. So who's right? Is it the atheist or the theist? Is this universe all there is? Is there a God who created everything we can see? So today, I want us to look at two quick reasons why many people believe in God and why I do too. The first argument I want to look at is the moral argument. The moral argument for God's existence is this. All people know the difference between what is absolutely right and what is absolutely wrong because all people are created in God's image. Now, let me try to explain this to you by giving a hypothetical scenario. Imagine this. One night, someone sneaks into your house and they take the lives of your family, sadly. The next morning, the criminal's caught, and the day finally comes, the day that you've been waiting for, when he stands before the judge and he has to give an account for what he did. And he says to the judge, I don't think what I did was wrong. You can't tell me that what I did was actually wrong. That's just your opinion. What will the judge do? He's going to look at the criminal like he's out of his mind, and he's going to say, what you have done is truly wrong. It is absolutely wrong. This is not a matter of opinion. This is a matter of fact. You are going to prison. Now, what would you think of the judge if he said, you can go free? I'm letting you off the hook. You would think that's ridiculous. Rightly so. In an atheistic worldview, however, there would be nothing wrong with the judge letting the man who killed your family to go free. And let me explain why. Ultimately, in the atheistic worldview, we are here by chance. So morality is not really black and white. It's up to you to create what is right and what is wrong. And why is this the case? Well, because the atheist believes in the physical world alone. Again, what you see is what you get. This universe is an accident. There is no God behind the order that we see. You and I, we're alive today by chance. There is no God that created us. We are the result of an explosion. There's nothing special about us. We are just the result of chemical reactions. So why does it matter what one set of chemicals does to another set of chemicals? Let me give you an example. Let's say I take a rock. I pick it up and I throw it against a tree. I'm really mad at the rock. I start beating the rock up. Is there anything wrong with that? No, because the rock is just a physical thing. There's nothing special about the rock. Well, it's the same with us in the atheistic worldview. We are the random result of atoms, molecules, and chemical reactions acting with one another. We came from an explosion. There's nothing about us that is different from a rock in the sense that we are here by accident, not by design. We may be more advanced than a rock, but it still doesn't change the fact that we are here by accident. There are no absolute right or wrongs. There is no God that sets the rules. It's up to the people to decide what they believe is right and what they believe is wrong. And at the end of the day, since life is meaningless, when you die, you die. That's it. And you can do whatever you want. You can get away with it. You will not be held responsible with anything wrong that you do. However, the theist would argue, the one who believes in God would argue, there are absolute rights and wrongs. There is an objective standard. And that is because God is the standard of what is right and wrong. And he created us in his image. God sets the rules. And after we die, we will all be judged for what we have done. We will be held accountable. So when God created you, he created you with a conscience. And the word conscience means with knowledge. So that means every time you did something in your life that was wrong or right, you did it with knowledge, knowing that it was right or wrong. In summary, the moral argument for God's existence is that there are things that are absolutely right and absolutely wrong because we are made in the image of God and we are ultimately responsible and accountable to him for everything that we do. Now, the second argument we're going to be looking at for God's existence is the argument from design, which is one of my favorites. Now, let's take a look at this book. This is a devotional book. It's called Real Discipleship. You can see it has multiple different colors, very creative. And if you look at the back, you can even see a quick description that's written about the book. And if you were to sit down and take the time, you could read it and make sense of it because it was intentionally designed by someone. Now, what would you say if someone told you that that book just happened to come into existence by accident? Not by design, not by intentionality. It is a random result of nothing. It just happened. It just popped into existence. You would say that person is a fool. And that's why it says the fool has said in his heart that there is no God. Take a look at the universe. Take a look at the seasons. What about the laws that control our universe, like gravity? What's stopping me from floating up into space right now? Gravity is holding me down. Is that by accident? Or did someone design this universe in a way that was creative, that was intentional, and that was designed? This is the argument from design, that the only logical explanation for the order that we can see in the universe is because God intentionally created the universe. We have a designer. But according to the atheistic worldview, the world is as it is by chance. It just works. And there's really no explanation behind it. It just works. That's what the atheist would argue. But the theist, on the other hand, would say there is an ultimate designer that created the universe and everything in it, which explains why we see order and why we see consistency within the world that we live in. So in summary, today we looked at two reasons why many people believe in God and why I do too. The argument from morality and the argument from design are very compelling reasons to believe that there is a personal God who created the universe, that we aren't simply here by chance, that there is meaning to life. There is a purpose. There is a reason for your existence. And I hope that by looking at these two arguments, that you begin to consider and think about the question, does God exist? And that you take it seriously. And ultimately, I pray that you put your trust in the true God, the Lord Jesus Christ, who died and rose again, and by rising again, proving he was who he truly claimed to be, the Son of God, God in the flesh.